I'm watching, there's a travel game outside, right? I'm watching this poor kid. I mean, they're freezing, okay? And here's the pitcher, right? And I'm watching the coaches and the parents, and the kid's throwing, right? And as soon as he gets right here, you see 57 eyes do what? Right? Okay. And so I'm watching, I'm seeing this nice young man. I wanted to run over to his dad and say, can you do something? Because at some point, he's going to blow that arm out if he continues to do this. I mean, this kid was stopping, right? You've got a son, you know, or anyone that you care about. Kids get hurt when they decelerate the arm, okay? This is called reach and shake, okay? You've got to get off that arm in a hurry, and if you've got a good delivery, you're using your legs, that arm always has to finish across, right? So it's not the emergency brake, right? The term that actually Mariano gave us to this years ago, I need to reach and shake. I'm going to reach out, and I'm going to shake the arm out when I'm done, almost like the trunk of an elephant. So here's this 11-year-old boy, and I checked the temperature, 39 degrees when this kid was pitching, right? And he's doing this. Try driving down 17 and slamming the brakes on 60 times. See what happens to your brake pads. And we wonder why these kids at an early age are complaining shoulder, rotator cuff, bicep tendon, right? No one's seeing that because as soon as he throws the ball, everybody's watching the results. Yeah, I miss a lot of games. I mean, I miss, but you know what? And you need to just take a little extra time and watch that, right? Same thing with stride length, right? Whether it's your son who's 6, does your son pitch? He's 9. Does he pitch? We're going to make him a pitcher. Can we borrow him for a second? Is that okay? What's your name? Brandon. All right, first thing we're going to do, are you a baseball player? Yeah. Attaboy, right there. Okay? Welcome to the big leagues. Okay? I've never seen you pitch before, Brandon, right? You might have a better delivery than, you know, some of those guys on the video there. If you can, right? Here's the pitching rubber, right? So you just got to square yourself up and give us your best fastball. See that guy right there? Just throw it right to him, right in the nose. Nail him, okay? Full delivery. You ready? You think you can do it? Go. Okay, one more time. Okay, Brandon, you can have a seat. That's pretty good. We're going to get you up here in a second. Now, your guys aren't pitching, Mike, right, at this level? Or they are kind of? Woo! Okay, great. Terrific. Well, soon there'll be 6 and under travel teams, so might as well get them going soon. I mean, okay. Right, so you got the 8s that are going to pitch. And I don't want to go, we'll stay with hitting, but this is important, right? First of all, at that level, you got to put them from the stretch. Right? My suggestion is that you get them, right, at some point in every delivery, they have to learn how to close the door, as we say it. Because the more you can close the door, the more you're going to be able to open the door and get that back shoulder to finish where the front shoulder started. So make it easier for those young 7, 8-year-olds right from the beginning, right? Put them in what we're going to call from the stretch. Make it easier for them. The one thing that we saw Brandon do, you got to get these young pitchers to understand that bring this leg up slowly and low is the reason why so many of them are getting hurt. I know when I played Little League, we were told, okay, bring it up. It's all about balance. Bring it up nice and easy. Don't use nice and easy when you're working with young pitchers because when they slow their bodies down, they slow their arm down. And when they slow their body down, okay, and then they land, guess what? If that arm is a split second late in getting to here, and not to get too technical, when that foot lands, you better make sure your son or the guys on your team have already gotten up and around the roller coaster and have started turning the shoulder. If they're one fraction, forget fraction, if they're 1/100th of a second late and they land and their arm is still coming this way, that's the problem when they become late. So when they land, that hand has to be getting ready to turn. The reason why so many of them don't throw hard and get hurt is, again, we love you, Brandon, but we're going to get you back up here. You've got to learn. Many years ago, there were some pretty good pitchers named Sandy Koufax, Juan Marichal, Bob Gibson, all the guys that threw hard. It's interesting. You see their deliveries back in the 60s and 70s. Now you see all what they call the pretty boy deliveries. That's why all these American pitchers at the big league level are on the DL all the time. Okay, we're going to cookie cut everybody. Okay, there it is. I see it in high school. right? There's a reason why no one throws over 85 miles an hour in Monroe, and hopefully it's going to change because I'm the new pitching coach at Warwick, but forget that, right? There's a reason why we've got so many of these 15, 16-year-olds that could throw so much harder, right? But they're getting information that's stale. Because I know when I played, and okay, bring it up nice and easy, you want to be balanced and throw. Well, watch the guys that do this for a living. That's not what they're doing. Mariano Rivera, right, from the stretch, right? If you watch what he does, that knee almost comes to his chest, and he brings it up aggressively. Because when you take that leg and bringing it up quick, you're loading the hip joint. That's the whole key, even at this level. Tell that young player, and they're all going to come into you, and they're going to do this, right? And throw. First thing you're going to do, Brandon, come on up here again. We're going to change you right in front of everyone. You're going to do the same thing this time, but with that leg that you're bringing up, I want you to bring it up high and fast, right? Instead of bringing it up slow and low, right? Slow and low, you're going to bring it up a lot faster this time. And if I had more time to work with them, I'd put them on a stopwatch. Any 8-year-old that's over 4 seconds in their delivery, okay, they're too slow. Their arm's too slow, and they're going to get hurt, right? So I'm going to put my stopwatch on, and you got about 3 seconds, Brandon, from the stretch, right? Watch what I'm going to do. I'm showing you from the left side. You're going to bring it up higher and faster, and I want you to take a bigger step toward the coach who's the catcher over there. High and fast on the knees, giant step toward the catcher. You think you can do it? Let's see what you got. Okay, do it again. Higher and faster. Get it up. Right. Very good. Sit down again, Brandon. What did you notice that time when he did that? His stride length was a little bit more than it was before. Those are the two areas that if you can get your 6-year-old, 7-year-old, 8-year-old, 9-year-olds, that the length of their stride, the boy that was out, I keep picking on this poor boy, right? He's out there. This was a big, strong young man who was out there pitching. 11-year-old, big kid. His stride length was about a third of what Brandon just showed. When you're watching your pitchers, and again, you're not going to see this if, as he throws, you're being a fan for that split second. The stride length of an 8-year-old should be 80% to 90% of how tall he is. Now, I know you don't have to bring out the protractor or be a mathematician, but you can tell very quickly when an 8-year-old does this and puts it down and throws, they're in trouble, right? Because at some point, right, you see guys, at the higher level, right? They're striding 5.5 feet because the longer the stride, the more you're going to have your legs underneath you to take the stress load off the arm. It's a very simple formula. All right? These are orthopedic surgeons that have looked at Nolan Ryan to the best 10-year-old little leaguer in the world. Stride length has to be 80 to 90% of how tall you are, right? So as a youth level coach, right, and you've got those young guys standing over here, right? All right. Let's see what happens here. Let's see if these guys can get out as far as they can. You'll never have to tell any of your pitchers to bend their back or follow through again. How many times in Little League do we have to tell guys, Johnny, bend your back, follow through? The reason why you keep having to say that is because their stride length is too short. Once you lengthen the stride out, guess what? They're going to finish the pitch without it. So you can keep talking about bend your back, follow through, but if they land like this, that bending and the follow-through is never going to happen. We kind of segued into pitching, but stride length. And again, most of your pitchers are going to come in slow and low, right? Those of you that are either taking notes or, all right, slow and low, no, high and fast. And get them to understand this, okay? And as they get older, they're going to have to learn it's not even straight up. When Mariano Rivera throws hard, or Roger Clemens, bad analogy, right? Any guys that have thrown hard for a long time, they actually bring it up on somewhat of an angle. It's not straight up. Yet all these pitchers that we see are doing this. And you do this at home by yourself. You bring this leg up like that, and we actually ask the high school pitchers to do this. Put your hand on your back cheek and just do this. You feel nothing. You bring it up higher and faster, what are you going to feel? You're going to feel the spring. You're going to feel that back cheek getting tighter. And when you load that back cheek, guess what? Now it's time to do what? To unload it when you throw. Yet most of the little leaguers that we see, they never load it to unload it because it's been beaten into their head And again, I love Williamsport. I'm a Little League fan, right? Williamsport better stop talking about balance point, bringing it up nice and easy. I mean, this is the governing body that's still, okay, here we go, and throw. And I think there's some people now that are trying to tell Little League, you know what? We need to be stronger because travel ball is killing Little League. It's a real problem even at the younger age. And yeah, frozen ropes, we have Devo teams, not travel teams. Kind of a different concept. Little League is important. You will not even miss a practice, right, to be with us. And we're taking Little League coaches to certify them to be our Devo team parent coaches, right? Not, you know what, not MFing Little League and saying, you know what, you don't need those guys anymore, we're going to go play, right? So that it can work, but the reason why so many kids are going to other organizations to play is that they keep blaming you, us, the Little League coaches, well, you guys don't really know what we're doing, right? The coaching is better over there. That's the biggest crock, but I don't want to get started on that, right? The point is, at a very early age, the high and fast knee, you got to look for that, right? And I know, well, how do you develop good pitchers? Everyone on your staff, on that team, should be a pitcher. And the first thing that you'll do, you'll line them up on a line, right? Right on the foul line, day one. Okay, who here wants to be a pitcher? They're all going to raise their hands, and even if those that aren't, you should at least teach them. Okay, here's what we're going to do. Real simple, boys. Ready? From the stretch. I mean, some of them will kind of like to face this way. In the event that they actually do that, make sure that they side saddle the rubber. Those of you that are going to be coaching 10, 11-year-olds, right? I know in the day I was told, you know, it's kind of like bowling. Now we know that with the mounds that these kids play on in the fields, you're better off, right, spreading them out a little bit. And if I'm left-handed, I'm on the side of the rubber. And if I'm a right-hander, I'm going to turn this way because you know what? Right from here, this is much easier to get that foot in. But when they come in thinking that they're in the big leagues with a manicured field, and they come this way, now they're going to have to go all the way here. Now you're asking that foot, the rubber foot, to do what? Turn all the way around to get ready to throw. That's a big problem. You see a lot of young pitchers kind of struggle with that. Real simple. If you're a right-handed pitcher, I mean, they're going to, you know, we did this the other day, and, you know, two veteran Little League coaches, well, Tony, that doesn't make any sense. I said, well, watch. And all the kids that were struggling, it was like, wow, that's easy. Bang, in. It was so much easier for them to present themselves to the rubber by going side saddle a little bit. Not to mention the fact that from a hitting standpoint, right, it looks like you're kind of throwing from the side, which as I know a lot of the high school guys that we work with, right, we have all of them way over to the side. If I'm a lefty and I'm getting ready to throw, this is really annoying for a left-handed batter. It almost looks like I'm coming in from right field. So that cross angle not only is better for deception, but for the younger players, they're going to love it because they're halfway turn to be able to get in. Right? Once you've gotten them to position themselves, and this gets back to, right, make sure that they're not coming in from the stretch and putting their feet together, right, like a lot of the young guys will do, okay? What you want them to do is just put their feet shoulder distance apart instead of out over here, because at some point when they get a little bit older, you can't pick people off. Again, I was watching the young guys out there that were playing 11, 12-year-olds, and I get to lead now, I guess, right, because they're playing in modified, right? Yet, as they come out of Little League, they're still doing this, right? You're not picking anybody off with your feet like this, right? At some point, from here, right, whether I'm lefty or righty, I'm going to be able to move my feet. At a very early age, get them to stand there. And I know you're saying, well, this is getting a little bit too advanced as they get older. Don't let them come down from the sky, right? Because if you can get good technique at an early age, right? Look familiar? Yeah. How about this? They get the ball back, right? They can hold on to the ball, okay? Right from here, and then go. Even though they're throwing from the wind-up, right, just get them out of this, because once they get to 11 or 12 or modified, and you still see kids on the modified team doing this. You do this on the modified level, as you're drifting down, what are you giving that runner the ability to do? Increase his secondary lead. Yeah, and the timing. At some point, you want to freeze the running game, You get it back, boom. And you see all the guys in the big leagues that have to hold people on, it's get it. They don't drift down from the heavens, and they never keep their feet that close, because you're not going to pick anybody off on the big field with the little league feet that you see. Right? So at an early age, and this is certainly more an athletic position for an 8-year-old to stand in. I'm going to get the ball back. They can put their hands up over here, out over here, doesn't matter. Right from here, high and fast with that knee. And Billy, let's see if you can step. I mean, they're not going to know what 80 to 90% of their stride length is. Don't tell kids that. Your parents are going to look at you and say, what is that? Right? You can kind of size a guy up. All right, here's the line. Let's see if we can get you, when you land, right, to get all the way out over there. If you can do that at this age, we've got the next good generation of arms coming into the farm system. So the coaching staff at Monroe 3 or 4 years from now, or 5 years from now, can continue to develop them.